Welcome to the beargrease render. Man, this podcast is unique because I didn't foreshadow about this. I straight up didn't shadow.
It was almost like a prophecy.
I prophesied about this podcast. Did you hear when I said that I was going to have you on like a couple of months ago? You heard about that?
I caught that clip, and then he had texted me earlier last week, and my wife was like, well, what are you guys talking about? Like, they gave you talking points to get studied up, and I'm like, no. but I think we're cut from the same cloth, so we're just going to go talk.
We're just going to go talk.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Tyler Asbury here, Josh the filmmaker, and Tyler is a squirrel dog expert. I don't care what anybody says. He's going to be like, oh, I don't know that much about him. He does. Okay.
In the business world, they call it a SME, a subject matter expert.
Tyler is a SME when it comes to squirrel dogs. And so we're going to talk about some squirrel dogs.
I need that in writing, but go ahead.
Yeah. Just right off the top, did you follow any of the public land stuff that happened in this last week?
I did, and I seen we won, and that's wonderful. Selling public land for corporate money or whatever they're going to do with it, drill, I assume. That's just a huge win, and I feel like that's a fight we're going to fight for a long time.
Yeah.
I know you guys hunt like a lot of public land. That's 95% of what I hunt.
Right.
So to think about like our kids not being able to hunt that, it's crazy, man. So
no kidding.
Huge win.
And the hard part of it is it's probably more nuanced than what it seems.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're selling our public lands. That's bad. Well, when you actually get into it, a lot of what they're trying to do is say that it's for affordable housing out in these western cities, which is a legitimate thing. Like these cities that are surrounded by national forests that are growing.
Yeah.
And it's like, is public land eligible? Can the government say, hey, we're going to sell off this land for these cities? And it's just such a hard thing to regulate because it's like, are they really going to make affordable housing in Bozeman, Montana? I mean, are they really going to build houses out there that, for $150,000, $175,000 that, a young family could go buy? Or is it going to turn into something completely else? Because there's nothing affordable there now. What would make it affordable? There's all these questions. But the bigger philosophical question and the thing that the American hunters and other groups dug their heels in on this deal is that, I mean, despite anybody's view of how the government should operate, like, big government, small government, it's like wild lands are the most limiting resource on planet Earth, I would say.
They're not making more of it.
No.
We can't make more.
Barring an apocalypse that literally destroys our civilizations, once land becomes privatized and has roads, has development, has concrete, has goes into this turning into non-wild lands, it just never comes back in ever. I mean, literally, if barring an apocalypse, a comet hits us and destroys this country, and it turns wild for a couple thousand years.
Right.
So our philosophy and our stance and what we're saying is we want to keep wild lands, and we can't trust the government to really decide how. I mean, if you actually could partition off in a reasonable way, like a small portion of land for some of these cities, I mean, maybe there's some place where that could happen. And it's actually legal to do that now, and there are ways to do that now. Not 1.2 to 5 million acres, though.
No.
And so, anyway, there's a lot of nuance to it, but the fundamental question was, the Senator Mike Lee, which who's from Utah, who is just like wanting to sell this land. Utah has a huge portion of their state that is federal lands.
Right.
There's people that said, well, what does anybody else in the country have? Why do we have a right to say what happens in Utah when we don't live in Utah? But then it's like, well, Utah doesn't own it. The federal government owns it.
Right. I contacted my senators, and I just said, look, It took too long to get these public lands, and this is what makes America America. And these are the rights of an American, and our rights should be protected and not sold. So I'm counting on you to protect our rights.
Can you believe that there's people in this country that would have no place in their just their life, their mind, their history, their history they can remember anyway, of any value for public lands?
It's crazy to think about, and I don't think that people realize how much impact that has had on their lives, regardless or not whether they interact with it.
Well, I mean, you look at these population maps that show. I'm pretty sure I saw a map the other day that said these cities have more, like it showed like Los Angeles, the parts of Texas, like Dallas, New York City, Miami, maybe. And they were like, these little circles have more population than these states.
Wow.
I mean, there's more people in Dallas than the whole state of Arkansas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. So it's like there are population centers of people that don't on a daily basis think about or interact with wildlands, probably like a lot of people that listen to this podcast and us in this room do. And so it's like you talk to, I mean, that might be a massive population that it's just not that important. And so they hear we have all these federal lands, they cost a lot of money, they're worth a lot of money, country's in debt. Maybe it's a pretty easy ideological process for them to go, yeah, just sell it.
They don't live the lifestyle we live.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was really cool to me, and like I'm not political, politics suck, whatever side. Jesus rules, Jesus wins in the end. But what was cool to me is there's so much agendas in government, right? So everything is funded or has to do with a dollar. So when they did this, like everyone on my Facebook feed, my Instagram feed is sharing contact your senators, let's win. Like I got guys posting stuff. I've not seen a post from you since 2016. Maybe it's just the group of friends I have, but everyone coming together like we're not doing this. Not happening. And that was wonderful.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
BHA put out some numbers. It was like, I can't remember, 133,000 calls to senators in just a few days.
That's awesome.
It's pretty. Everybody showed up, and I think that's what helped protect the land.
Well, the main reason that we need public lands, and I think all Americans agree, is for squirrel hunting. And that's why Tyler Asbury is here.
Always circles back.
Except for like I have to dodge bow hunters, and then I have to dodge duck hunters, and then I have to dodge trappers. Like I came out of the woods. Last year on a road I like to hunt quite a bit in Rainy Break. Rainy Break's a WMA. I named my son after it. And there's this old dude on a 4-wheeler just like catting by, and he's got to be 85. And I was like, hey, man. He's like, you got squirrel dogs? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I've got like 19 number 2 Dukes on that water to catch coons with. You might not want to turn loose here. I'm like, oh, so now I got to dodge trappers as well, so. But yeah, public lands.
Challenges of public lands.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, you live in East Central Arkansas.
Yep.
And how long you been squirrel hunting?
Oh, man, 15 years or so. I started coon hunting, and the wife was like, this coming in at 4 a.m. is not going to work. Like, so, and I love to coon hunt, but I'm also not a night owl. So, yeah, 15, 16 years squirrel dogging. Yeah.
Now, so I wanted to have you on just to set the record straight about. We're going to talk about many things, but talk to me at first about what you said earlier about how squirrel hunting with dogs has kind of blown up.
It really has, and I think it's because of things like this, social media, and just people. Like I grew up and everyone deer hunted. Like, let's get a corn pile out and a 30-30 and let's kill that Pasket Rack 6. And we're getting it, and like anymore, like there's
I
one,
like it.
There's one. I mean, that's what it is.
That's Josh's style.
Yeah,
that's what it is. In my country, there's more and more people, trying new things. But like, I cannot fathom sitting in a deer stand and just twiddling my thumbs, like hoping a deer walks by. I think I deer hunt differently than most people. Maybe I wasn't taught to deer hunt right. But anyway, yeah, it's huge. And like,
that's what all deer hunters do, is just twiddle their thumbs waiting for a deer.
I've offended someone, and I apologize to whoever. But yeah, no, it's really blown up, and I think people trying new things, but really social media has done wonders for the sport. And you've got guys that, can afford to go buy like a finished trained dog. Like I sold a Jip in 22 to a man in Georgia, and he never met him. He's like, "Hey, seen your Facebook post, I want to buy your dog." I'm like, "Cool." And yeah, social media's blew it up huge. And then there's
you see that as a positive thing.
I am a father of 4 in the toughest economy. I've seen, like, I'm going to sell a dog yearly. Like, I've got to. So I try to raise 2 a year, maybe keep 1, maybe sell 1. That's what I do. And, there's people out there that don't enjoy raising dogs, and they need to buy dogs.
Finished dog.
Yeah.
Now, hey, I tend to offend people, like offend cultural norms when I'm around cattle farmers. Usually the first thing I ask is like, how many cows you got?
Yeah.
Like, I know the rules.
What are you worth, brother?
I know the rules. I'm not worried about, I'm not doing the math. Economics is not what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I'm interested in just like,
What's
what's your
size?
workload?
Yeah.
How much land do you have?
Yeah.
How many cows per acre are you putting on this place?
Yeah.
Just tell me about your life. Like, I'm not really trying to get in this pocketbook. So I'm not trying to get in your pocketbook here,
Gotcha.
but what's a good finished squirrel dog worth? A good 1.5-year-old finished squirrel dog.
To a man wanting to kill squirrels or a man wanting to go to competition
You
hunts?
tell me.
So you can go, there's several different like organizations. You can go to a USDC. It stands for Ultimate Squirrel Dog Club competition hunt, and you can spend.
I got a tattoo on my chest right here.
Yeah.
UDC.
I've got one as well. But
Oh, you actually have a squirrel dog tattoo.
I've got a
this
squirrel
man
dog
has
tree.
a tree
Yeah.
and dog
Sorry,
on
Mom.
his wrist.
But anyway, yeah, you can go spend $2,000 on an entry fee and win a new pickup. Squirrel hunting.
Squirrel hunting?
Squirrel hunting. I have seen $30,000 exchanged.
Holy
For a good squirrel dog?
Yes, sir.
Young one.
5-6-year-old, healthy, clean bill of health, in the prime of its life. And then I've seen a good pleasure dog. Like, if I call you, like, Clay, I've got an 18-month-old dog that's rocking. She's as good as she's ever going to be. I want $3,000 for her. That's pretty close.
Okay.
Right now. Depends on the party, like the customer, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So
$30,000.
I've
Okay.
seen coon dogs sell for double that, dude. It's
Now,
It's
explain
crazy.
to me, how did these groups, I've never understood these truck hunts. Where's this
Yeah.
money coming from?
the entries. So, like,
Tell me, now I'm into the pocketbook.
yeah.
The squirrel dog hunt.
Yeah.
How does this work? Like, I
So-
come and it's a $2,000 entry and there's 100 guys, so they're gathering up $200,000 and they go buy a pickup and somebody walks away with $150.
Yeah.
Welcome to the beargrease Squirrel Classic. We're hiring Tyler
Yeah.
Asbury to run it. We're going to pay him $30,000. We're going to buy a $45,000 pickup, and me and Josh are keeping 160.
What's comical is what you just said is happening in the coon dog world right now, and
Okay.
I'm clapping for them guys. I am. I wake up and go to bed thinking about squirrel dogs, and these guys do too. I don't have any interest to drive to Mount Orab, Ohio for a competition hunt at all. I would rather go squirrel hunting alone with my dog and make a good dog and then sell it. Like, I can't run the roads like that. I can't afford those entry fees. Some people can. That's great, but I can't. But yeah, and the more that, like right now they're selling entries. The president of USDC, his name's Jeff Island. He's from Alabama, a good friend of mine. Every Thursday he's like, okay, here's this hunt in Jamestown, Tennessee. We're gonna sell 36 entries for sale right now. Go.
Wow, how much are those entries?
I want one. 500,000. Whatever you want.
And what are they giving away on those hunts? Money?
Sometimes money. I used to hold a lot of squirrel dog hunts before the kids got old enough to really go and do 4-wheelers, side by sides, whatever you want to play for, But and then there's other squirrel dog registrations where it's not so much money, but like $100 entry fee. Like, there's a company called NSD, which is my favorite. Jimmy Inman owns it. He's out of Tennessee as well, and they have state races. So you can go do like a $30 hunt on Saturdays and keep up with, like, say Josh wins it, he gets 100 points. Well, at the end of the year, he gets a check and a jacket, and he won the state race. So it's whatever you want to do, really.
So are there multiple organizations
Oh, yeah.
are there just like people that just have hunts?
There are, and that is very, like, what do you want to do? Like, do you want so you wanted to talk about Feists, and like there's like 64 Feist organizations based on.
Are you hyperbolically saying 64, or they're literally 64?
No, there's like 5 or 6.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hyperbolic.
Yeah. I don't know what that word
Big word.
Exaggeration to prove a point.
Right.
Put that in your memory bank.
Hyperbole.
I can't wait to call my wife and use that word on the way home.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hyperbolically.
Hyperbolically. She'll be like, what? Where did you learn that? What were we talking about?
Hyperbolic.
Okay. The number of Feist organizations.
Yeah.
There are 5.
Yeah, there are 5. And basically, like, it's political. It's so political. So it's basically like this group of guys doesn't want to hunt against this group of guys. So, like, we're going to make our own organization. You're not in. You're in. It's what it is.
Okay. I want to come back to Feist, but I want to stay on the squirrel dog competition.
Competition
I've
hunting is
never.
booming.
Now, I've competition coon hunted. I won't say a lot,
Yeah.
but enough to be quite familiar with
Yeah.
it. And I've never been to a competition squirrel hunt.
Yeah.
But I now, man, Tyler, I knew this was going to be good. I now have a new dream. I have two. I've added a new dream, and I'm going to expose
To the
a
list.
new
Let me
dream.
jot this down.
Formerly, I was interested in being a commercial fisherman and a high-end mule trader. That was like a dream.
Heavy equipment operator.
I'm dropping commercial fishing.
Oh, really?
I'm just over it. But I have attained high-end mule trader.
oh, yeah.
You want to
Yep.
find like a top dollar mule? I'm your man.
Yeah.
Actually put mule trader in my bio on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to have a beargrease squirrel classic
Okay.
where we give away 1,000-acre tract of land. And I
Public
also want to hold a high end mule sale, like Crum in the Canyon or like Bishop
You got
Mule
it.
Days.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Are you doing that at the same location at the same
It'd
time?
have to be different times, but
Yeah.
I would just be the guy that's like, hey, if you need squirrel dogs or mules, Clay's not only the man, but he's got the infrastructure around him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, guys, Ty,
Yeah.
no, so there's all these hunts. How? Okay, so there's a different. Describe to me the difference between a pleasure dog and a competition dog. So those are phrases that people
Yeah.
in the dog world would be really would
Yeah.
understand. I think somebody that's never squirrel hunted
Right.
would not understand.
Right. There is no difference in a dog's talent in the two, pleasure versus competition. It's just a difference in the handling. So, like, if you go squirrel hunting, you may want your dog to timber with the squirrel as it leaves and stay with it so you can find it to shoot it. I don't want my dog to timber because in a competition hunt, you're going to get minus. If your dog leaves that tree, I've seen 3 dogs my whole life that could timber a squirrel well. Most dogs are going to timber it for 20, 30 yards and then lose it. And their instinct's to put that nose on the ground. And then they look like a fool. They've lost it. Like if
Timbering means dog's treed, squirrel in the tree,
Yeah.
and then the squirrel leaves.
Yeah.
and goes from
Yeah.
tree to tree.
Yeah, so the way I am bringing up pups right now, I do not want them timbering. I don't want them to leave that tree until I physically pull them off of it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's very, very little difference. I have seen some pleasure dogs that will never see a competition hunt that I think a lot of. Always will. Tim's mother, Callie, never put her in a hunt. To this day, the best pure squirrel treer I've owned. The only one I've ever buried. And then I've seen some competition dogs that were like where I live. I hunt along a lot of rice fields, bean fields. So I'm going to send him like down that levee. So he may be 600 yards before he ever cuts in the woods and smells a squirrel. We don't want to do that if we're killing squirrels. I don't want to walk that far. You dang sure don't in this country. I definitely understand why you hunt off mules now. I am not a mountain guy. I'm not built for that. So yeah, it's just a little bit of handling. That's all it is.
So the idea with the competition dog is that he needs to go tree a squirrel and stay on the tree till you get there, because that's when you think about if I were just describing the competition to someone that had no understanding, like a competition gives value to the things that's difficult for a dog to do.
Yes.
Right.
And what's difficult for a dog to do, even though we're breeding tree dogs,
Yeah.
is that not every dog that's bred to be a tree dog is going to be a tree dog. Tree dog
Correct.
meaning when an animal runs up a tree, they stand under the tree
Correct.
and bark. Like, if you think about it biologically,
Yeah.
that is clearly a man-induced trait, because a wolf, if an animal runs up a tree, a wolf is going to walk away and go find something else to catch on the ground because he's never
Right.
going to climb that tree.
Correct.
So, I mean, like deep historically, like people were breeding dogs that stayed at the tree and barked. And so anyway, that's a limiting factor. So a competition gives ultimate value to a dog that stays treed.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
And so a competition dog needs to be quick and fast.
He needs to be
accurate.
treed very fast. Here's the deal, and this is going to really hit home with you. If you are treed 900 yards due, what direction is that?
Is
that
west.
Is that west? If you're treed 900 yards west, here, you might not hear that dog.
Right.
In the flatlands, you might hear him. So a dog that's a competition dog needs a big mouth.
Okay.
So, i.e., they are breeding a lot of hound into these competitions for that mouth.
Okay.
Like my cur that I raised last year, I called her Sassy. I sold her. She had a really sharp, high-pitched mouth. I could hear her well. I have had dogs with a coarse, like dog sounds like it's been smoking menthols for 20 years. I can't hear that well. I can only hear this well on the right ear. But, yeah, so it needs to have a huge mouth, a lot of foot speed. I know guys that are breeding English pointer into these squirrel dogs for speed. Yeah, and lock down tree power. I mean, it sounds so simple. Go tree a squirrel fast, stay there. But you have to factor in so many things: weather, location, population of squirrels. You know, I mean, it's always different, and that's why I love it. Yeah.
And getting treed fast, you know, that sounds kind of silly. It's like, well, yeah, you're going to turn loose a dog and it's going to go tree. Man, that goes back to hunt drive that's in a dog. I mean, getting treed fast is basically just, there's a lot of, if you turn loose 10 dogs, they're all going to have a little bit different style in the way they hunt. I mean, some dogs are just going to disappear into the woods.
Yeah.
Some dogs are going to, you know, every variation. They're going to stay close to you for a little while and then go hunting or whatever. In a competition dog, no matter what he does, he's got to go. And then there's also dogs that just instinctively, well, let me ask you, do you think that there's like these really good ones? Like they kind of understand squirrels and understand where they're going to be, like you and I would. Like if you were in a rice field looking at a wood edge, and I don't know, the timber was real thick right there and viney, in your mind, you're thinking, I bet there's a squirrel right there.
Yeah.
Do you think the dogs are keyed in that much?
They have to be. And that I actually just talked about that with my buddy Lane Parks in Tennessee. Like I've seen good competition dogs that just didn't know, all right, I got to get out of this water. I got to get down. Like where I live, game is on field edges. That's where game is. I've got to get out of this and go find the right woods. And what you just said, that is a trait that cannot be, they either have it,
teach it.
You do not teach it. And that's what's so amazing to me is that is pure skill. Like that dog just knows.
Intelligence.
Yeah. And here's another thing. Like you've got these Feist running around that are 10 times more intelligent than a Walker Hound. They're way smarter.
Hey, say that again for Brent.
I am a Walker man to the core and always will be, but it's facts.
And then plods
facts.
are a lot smarter than walkers, but keep going.
Yeah.
I derailed you. You're going to have to get used to this. My job is to derail my
You're
guests.
doing good. You've taught me a new word, and we've derailed me twice, so we're fine.
I'm sorry. So, okay, dogs, like, using intelligence for game.
Yeah.
Feist smarter than a hound.
Yeah, it's facts. So knowing where to be is huge. Now, I really am huge on a winding nose. So, like, I raised a Jip I called Whip. She's always going to be my one that got away. I sold her, needed the cash. She was just amazing. She's in the Hall of Fame now in NSD. My buddy Lane owns her. She was the kind of dog that would win no matter where you were. So in 22, maybe 23, I go to Mount Orab, Ohio. It's a huge frost on the ground. It's October. It's not frosted here yet. She's 17 months old. I've put her in 3 hunts and won all 3 of them. So this is the 4th hunt I've took her to. So in the mid round or the early round, like I get my head beat in. She's never hunted on a frost in her life. She's never seen one. And I get to thinking about it. I'm like, this was so stupid. This is on me. I get to buy back in the next round. Those squirrels up there are laid out sunning. Like they are on limbs just chilling. That doesn't happen here. So she's just winding squirrels, just picking them like popcorn. Here in the middle of the day, they're not laid out sunning. They've been down, got what they need to, and they're back in a hole. So location's pretty huge, you know, where you're at. And I'm really jealous of that because those guys will sleep in till 6, go get breakfast at the local cafe, 8, 9 o'clock. They're going to turn loose around 10, be home at 2. Like brother, where I'm at, you better turn loose at daylight if you want to treat a squirrel the right time of the year, because there's so many. You know, I hunt around a lot of sloughs, and there's these duck hunters and a lot of gun pressure, and these squirrels are wild. Yeah, which I've actually, with this job I have, I've actually found a lot more public land, and we've started hunting out of boats just to get away from all the noise, away from all the pressure. You know, and that's really where I like to take a pup.
So where is the squirrel hunting, and what I mean by that, the squirrel hunting epicenter of the country, like culturally, like where are the most squirrel dogs? Where are the best squirrel dogs? Where are the most squirrels? Where are there more hunters?
Yeah.
Like is there a place, or is it all kind of just spread out through the east?
There are squirrel hunters like from Oklahoma north to Indiana and then east. So like the southeast, like go SEC, there's a lot of squirrel dog people there. I talked to a man in Pennsylvania about once a month, and he is in true mountain country. I know a guy in New York with squirrel dogs. I've not heard of anyone like north of the border. I'm sure there's squirrels in Alaska and Canada. I'd love to go up there. Like me, myself, I've hunted, I've been in the Mississippi Delta. I've been in the Mark Twain in Missouri. Land between the lakes in Kentucky's a good time. Upper Peninsula of Michigan's a good time. Arkansas has game, and that's kind of where I hang out. There's no reason for me to leave Arkansas.
What about numbers of squirrel hunters? Where do you like in the people you interact with? Like where?
I have more friends out of state that I talk to daily than I do at home, because like-minded things. I'm gonna say like the leader in number of squirrel hunters will probably be Mississippi.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm a huge Mississippi fan. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of.
The guy that got me into squirrel hunting is from Mississippi.
Cool. Yeah.
Trey Autry.
Gotcha. The Mississippi Delta is a good time for sure, and a lot of that depends on the water situation. Is it flooded? Is it not flooded? When did like at home right now, the water's going down finally on our refuges. Like a little rain's not hurting right now, and I know what's coming. It's about to get dusty dry, but like if they're not pumping things off down there, they may not have a great year. So if timber stays flooded, it's not going to produce that well.
Okay, tell me about your hunting schedule throughout the year. Like when do you start hunting?
So like I sold my Gyp Sassy right after Christmas, and I bred her first heat, and I had a litter of 7. 6 are tree squirrels. I kept one. I call her Up. She was born in August, so she's 10 months old right now. She is a deep and lonely dog. Like today, she's 600-700 to find a squirrel. A lot of that's hyperness. I'm not trying to go that far right now. I also have a 4-month-old pup named Nova that's about a 50-yard dog, like hanging around me. I'm just not doing much right now. Like it rained Wednesday, and the wife was like, "Oh man, it cooled down. The thermometer says 81 degrees." And like I wasn't even done making my PB&J. I was like, "Be back, gotta go." And I went and turned my pup loose, But I'm gonna get fired up about mid-September. It's still dry, it's still hot, and I'm gonna make a tree or two. Let's end on a good note. And I'm not really doing a whole lot till mid-October, and then it's go time. After January, squirrels get pretty hard to tree. I'm sure it's the same way here. They're denning up. Predators, squirrels get pretty hard to tree. And then to build on that, like my oldest 2 kids are sports players, so we're busy. Spring softball. Jason's a basketball player. I don't have time to hunt in February, so pretty much September, January is my window.
September through January.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do a little bit in the spring. Like I love to go to the Mark Twain late May and hunt opening weekend. Such a good time. Short timber, which I don't get to hunt ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good time up there.
Okay, so lay out for people that have never even done it and don't have any familiarity with the types of squirrel dogs.
Okay.
So we use that phrase, squirrel dog.
Yeah.
What dogs would fit into that category that could be squirrel dogs?
So you have Feists, you have mountain curs, you have treeing curs or treeing Feists. And what that means is if you take a cur or a Feist and you add another breed to it, that's when we introduce the word treeing. And then there's people squirrel hunting walkers, black and tans, red ticks, plots, any kind of hound.
A hound.
There's also a breed of dog called a Leica. And maybe I'm saying that right.
Leica,
These dogs don't bark much treed. They look like sled dogs. And the guys that squirrel hunt them kill a pile of squirrels with them. I've never been with one. And I am very open-minded, and I like to try new things, but I cannot get behind squirrel hunting a long-haired dog.
Yeah.
It's the only ick I have in life. I think that and red waspers. But it's just so that's the categories.
Okay,
And then you have bloodlines in each category. You know.
Okay, so let's talk about feists.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and start there.
Let's roll our sleeves up.
Okay. Everybody thinks that a breed of dog is like just like a UKC, like
Yeah.
blue tick or poodle or Labrador, UKC bred.
Yeah.
You breed it's a full bred lab to a full bred lab, and you get a full bred lab litter.
Yeah.
Describe to me what a feist is.
In my opinion, a feist is a dog that trees or chases game under 30 pounds, under 18 inches. That is a feist. That is a squirrel dog feist. Now,
so it is not. This explains why I've got a feist out here that has white legs and a little bit of brindle, and then I've got some that are almost black.
Yeah.
Like they look different.
Yeah, they do. If you've got you've got Osage out there, and she's a feist. Her mother is half cur, but Osage is so small that she measures for a feist. So if you AI'd her, if you artificially inseminated her to a walker hound, a 60-pound walker hound, and those pups were half feist, half walker, and they're under 30 pounds, that is a feist.
They're still a feist.
A feist is a feist.
So a feist is not really a breed of dog; it's a category of dog.
Yes, sir. You nailed it. Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the clear.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that because there's also a lot of different kinds of feists.
Right.
What are the different kinds?
So people call treeing feists and mountain feists this or that because they have an agenda. A mountain feist group wants a small, prick-eared dog that these guys know there's no hound or bird dog in this, so we're going to call these mountain feists. We want these to be mountain feist. Tree and feist guys can't come. A feist is a feist, no matter what's in it.
Okay, so there's a mountain feist, which a mountain feist might look almost like a
terrier type situation.
A lot of times lighter colored,
Yep.
even solid colored
Yep.
dog, under
Yep.
18 inches, under 30 pounds. Might have a saddleback with be red or might be light colored, lemon drop colored,
Even jet black, possibly.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Or white and ticked up, maybe.
But that mountain feist is clearly not going to have any hound in it.
Yes, sir.
Is that
Correct.
and that would have been people that were trying to kind of make a breed of dog. Is
Correct.
that right?
Correct. So my friend Todd Coles in Batesville has a lot to do with almost everything to do with what your dogs are. Todd calls his dogs feists. That's what they are. They are brindle, and most of them are under 20 pounds. His in my opinion, his best dog is the dog he calls Moon Pie. One of the best I've seen go. She weighs like 14 pounds.
That is tiny.
Wow.
We've come up to water, and I look back, and Todd's got her like a football, like walking across water, so you don't have to swim, and then just drop her back down. But yeah, so his bloodline of feists are called booster bred feists, and he has not brought in outside influence of any other dog. He has line bred his feists. That's what it is. Everything has the same relatives, but he has not dipped out of other stuff. You see what I'm saying? He's not got any cur or got any hound or bird dog and added in that.
Now, okay, so with those dogs, tell me the pros and cons of a little bitty dog like that.
Heavily opinionated. You've seen the meme where the guy's standing up and they've got like swords at his throat.
Yeah,
that's how I feel when you ask that
you
question.
could put yourself in danger with this answer.
Yeah. I hope no one throws a brick through my window tonight.
Well, we're going to blur out his face, turn down the lights, and be like, we're bringing in an expert to tell us what he really thinks about small feists.
A small feist is going to hunt close. He's going to be within 200-300 yards most of the time. A small feist isn't going to tree very hard. And when I say tree very hard, I refer to that as barks per minute. That dog might bark 30 to 40 times per minute, to where a cur or a treeing cur or a hound is going to give you like 120 a minute. Me personally, when I get treed, I want you to know where I'm at, and you to know where I'm at, and Donald Trump to know. I want everyone to know Tyler's right there. I don't want to walk in there guessing, wonder where my dog's at. The Garmin says he's treed, but I don't hear it. That's my preference. Feists are smart. Okay, so I have been with people who hunt feists, and maybe we like, hey man, meet me at the gas station at 6. We're gonna go hunting, and we get there, and you know what a December morning can do. The temperature falls, the wind picks up, and game's not moving. And I have seen dogs that will go try for 20 minutes, and they're like, okay, squirrels aren't moving, Dad. I'm gonna hang out with you. And people will tell you like, hey, they're not moving, so we're gonna go to the truck. We're gonna go home. That's okay. I don't want that. I get more satisfaction off of knowing what my dog can do when things are tough. You know what I'm saying? So that is to me, that is the biggest con of a feist. If squirrels are moving and you and I are, man, we've had a great week at work and we want to go kill some squirrels. We're going to make some dumplings for the holidays. You can't beat them. You cannot beat them. And a good feist is going to be treed. There's not any doubt.
Now, you said it was a con. You're saying, what are you saying about that bad morning? A feist is not going to tree then?
Yes, sir. They're going to quit.
Okay.
You
know what? Get out right
90%
now. Just get out. I got feists in mind. I've never done that in my life.
90% of them are going to, and that's all right. Like, okay, it's not working out.
So what would the pros be? So why would
a pro of a feist, obviously, other than the brains, is they are so gamey that they are going to tree squirrels with more senses than a hound or a cur.
Okay. They're going to use their ears,
nose, eyes, everything. So, like, you go on a windy day and leaves are shaking, like that feist is watching. They are really tuned in with that branch that's shaking up there. You just holistically cannot beat a feist for killing squirrels. Like, if you come over in December, and I hope you do, to my area, and we go squirrel hunting in the bottoms, I'm leaving my stuff at home. Because if we're going to kill squirrels, I've got squirrel dogs, yeah. But we're not going to tree near the amount. Like, the refuge that I hunt the most, I call it Rainy Break. I named my second son after that. I love it that much. I will go meet Todd Coes in the morning. Like, we're there. He'll be like, I'm going over here. I'm like, cool, I'm going over here. Fist bump. He's going to come back with 25. I may not even carry a gun. If I do, I'm going to come back with 10. That's what it is.
And he's got feists and you don't,
I know that sounds wild.
I don't understand.
I know that sounds wild. I want a bigger dog with more tree power and more endurance.
Now, is that because you're more competition oriented than just pleasure hunting?
Yeah, at this point in life, I am. I love to kill squirrels.
So a feist might tree a squirrel and timber out, and he's going to stay on it, and you're going to kill that squirrel.
Yeah.
You want a dog that's just going to go in and be for sure certain and tree one and stay there.
My best friend in the world, Jamie Bollinger, he's in London, Kentucky. He told me one time, like, quit squirrel hunting with a shotgun. I'm like, dude, I've got to. No, you don't. He said, walk in with a 22 and shoot that squirrel. It's going to fall right on that dog's head. That's going to keep that dog tight. If we walk up to a tree like over here and the squirrel's timbering 40 yards this way and we're shooting over here, distractions. It's great for killing squirrels. It's not for the game I'm playing currently. I know what I'm saying.
So, so it's a competition thing.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I've not been at a comp hunt in nearly 3 years.
But it's just the style that you want.
That's the style of dog I want right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you, Josh?
Yeah.
Does it?
I'm contradicting myself big time, and I know that when I say
that.
Well,
no, it makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah.
Your original description of feist, I wasn't sure if, and I realize not everybody wants a small dog that hunts close, but I tell you what, around here, boy, I don't know how anybody would want one to go over 250 yards.
I was driving yesterday, I was like, I definitely know why he hunts off mules, and I know why he's loving these feists. Because if I had to squirrel hunt here, I would be at your door every morning like, Clay, can I borrow a mule? Because I'm not from hill country. Yeah. So, yeah. And there's guys in the bottoms where I live that hunt feists, and like I said, I love them. But
they're in a competition, they're not going to be able to compete with the other dogs.
Like, on any given weekend, there are 40 to 50 competition hunts going on in the world, in America, throughout different states.
41 now, the beargrease.
Now that the beargrease classic's coming up. So, like, on any given Saturday, there's probably 200 to 300 dogs entered in a competition hunting. 3 of them are going to be feists.
Really?
Maybe.
Damn it.
Maybe. If it's an open hunt. So let me build on that. An open hunt is where bring what you want. Let's go. I don't care how your dog's papered. I don't care how it's bred. Yeah, it's fine. whatever,
Yeah.
Chihuahua, whatever. Let's go.
Wouldn't a Chihuahua be a Feist?
Correct. Yeah.
Could be.
That's what it
treat
is.
squirrels.
Yeah. And then like I have mountain curs right now. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm kind of enjoying that. There are cur only hunts. There are Feist only hunts.
Yeah.
I want to hunt against everything. So yeah. There's a boy in BB, Arkansas, great friend of mine, Garrett Key, and he's got a Feist that is half Walker, half Feist. And she is about 25, 26 pounds. She is the only one I've ever seen that will go a mile to tree a squirrel. She'll be on the tree like a hound, and she's ever breath treed.
But she's still got some of the positive traits of a Feist, like using eyes and ears.
Yes, like
So-
we have went before. Like we got in this. Like I don't own a boat. I'm broke. I can't. So we got my canoe, and we get on this island.
How can a good squirrel dog man be broke? Come
Oh,
on,
dude,
Tyler.
it's anyway. You should see my kids eat. But no, we get in my canoe and we get on this island, and she is literally every 40 yards. Boom, 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 boom. Like I've not even bent down to pick this one up and rack another one in my chamber, and she's treed again, and it's just crazy. But she is one out of 200 that I've seen like that.
Really?
And I told Garrett, like, enjoy this. He's like me and like you. He likes to deal with a young dog, like, you know. And I told him, enjoy this because you might not see it again. You know,
It's too hard to replicate in breeding.
it's a wow factor that you hope for when you're breeding, but you can't do it every time. Like I seen a video, and this is kind of going off in left field. I seen a video, and these guys have got these setters, and this dude like throws a wing out there, and there's like 8 pups that like walk up instinctively, and I'm pretty sure they're still nursing. A squirrel dog, the breed holistically today is better than it was 15 years ago. There are more, like back in the day, you got a litter of 6, like 2 of them's probably gonna be pretty good dogs. Another one might tree, the other ones don't. Squirrel dogs today are better, but they are behind bird dogs. I think a squirrel dog has the worst job of any hunting dog because, like, you sit in a deer stand and watch a squirrel. Like, dude, they're everywhere. How it pegs it, like it is in this tree, I'm directly under it, is insane to me.
Yeah.
It's. I'm so fascinated by it. Maybe I'm small-minded, but I just like, how did you know to find this?
One of the great
You know?
mysteries of the world.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and so that's just, I mean, how a squirrel dog knows to do that is just
It
beyond me.
really is pretty fascinating. I agree with you. Just having hunted with dogs for a lot of different kinds of game.
Yeah.
From bear to deer
Yeah.
to coons to hogs. A squirrel dog. My dad was over here the other day and he was looking at Osage and he said, "Boy, she's got a real good nose, I bet, doesn't she?" And I said, "Well, for a squirrel dog, she does."
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't have a nose compared to a hound. And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Imagine having a hound that could smell where a squirrel was 6 hours ago and what that squirrel, the tracks that squirrel made
Yeah.
6 hours ago
Yeah.
from till now, no telling where it's at."
Yeah.
You want that squirrel dog to have the right mix of
Hot
find-
track, cold track.
Right.
Well, I mean, not even barking unless
Yeah.
the thing was probably on the ground,
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Am I right? What
Yeah.
do you think?
Yeah, no, you've nailed it. You want a squirrel dog to have the mix of, I know they're moving, I'm going to go find a hot one, versus they're not moving, I need to gamble on this scent that is 3 hours old. And the mixture of that is a fine line based on the day. So say you and I,
I've
like-
never thought about it like
Oh, yeah.
that.
It's- Yeah.
That a dog is actually calibrating
Yeah.
like, boy, there's not many out today. I guess I better tree. I guess
Yeah.
I know there's one here 2.5 hours
Yeah.
ago versus he goes out and he's just like slam dunking
Yeah.
hot ones.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
so, and anyone that tells you like, hey, I know when squirrels are moving is lying, because I have laid awake in bed at night and thought, why were squirrels moving at 2 p.m. today, but they weren't at 6 a.m.? Like, I don't understand it. And so like a dog. So that's where you get into like, so say we go to a competition hunt, man, and it's just raining. It's raining. And it's 15 degrees. Like, a hound is still going to get treed. A Feist is not. We're not going to look at anything when we get there unless we get lucky and beat it out of a snag. But it's what game do you want to play, you know? So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, they've got to figure out what kind of track do I need to work for today.
Man, okay, that describes it so well.
And to build on that, like, here's the scenario. Say us three are in a competition hunt. We've got a 60-minute cast. If you have a dog that knows, and I have a dog that's younger, and like I don't know if I need to try to gamble today or go find a hot one, and he makes 2 trees, he's beat me. Time's wasted. He's already done it, and mine's not smart enough to know, like, here's what I got to do today. So, I mean, having one that can differentiate that is so big, and that's what drives me.
Okay,
that's what drives me.
The original question I was asking you to describe the breeds, and we described the Feist.
Yeah.
Okay, and okay.
My bad.
No. One. You described before we started that the Feist world is kind of like the Mafia. Can you describe that to me before we get on to the other breeds? So that's the direction we're going.
The Feist guys are like, man, how do I want to word this? So
just tell it like it is.
I'm just going to. There are different bloodlines of Feist. There are Mullins Feist, Booster Bred Feist, Champ Feist, Williams Feist, Barger Feist, McAndrew Feist. I'm sure that I've missed a real prominent one. Some of those guys are line breeding their dogs. Todd Coe's Feist derived from Streak. Streak is the most famous mountain cur producer ever. He was a cur. Todd has line bred these dogs, and when you line breed, you're going to lose size. It's the same with any animal. I'm told. I don't know genetics, but that's what I'm told.
Okay.
So Todd has stayed straight on that. Then there are guys like the Champ bred dogs. Champ himself was half bird dog. He came from Alma, Arkansas. Bill Douglas, James Quick. Those are 2 guys that really pioneered the Champ line.
I hunted with Bill Douglas one time.
Did you really?
I did.
The best dog man I've ever seen. Yeah, bar none. I could get on that story too, but so those guys might have added something different. They don't like to intertwine based on the talent of their dogs. So they bring up these different associations of Feists to fit what their talent is. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, so they
get real territorial.
Yeah, very. Yeah. It's we're fighting over a food bowl. Yeah. I've got better. Well, I've got better. Well, we use these rules. We use these rules.
Now I'm kind of a booster Feist man.
Same, to my core. I don't hunt with Todd as much as I used to. I think I could call him today and be like, Todd, I've got a pup. I really need some help. I need to kill this dog some squirrels. And he would drop what he was doing and come help me. He does not have what I am truly after, but I have a lot of respect and love for his dogs.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got a style of dog.
He's pioneered it. He has stayed on the course, and he has replicated for years. He knows exactly what buttons to push with each dog because they're all the same. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's amazing about what Todd's done.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
His cheeks will be red when he's hearing this because I've not spoken that nicely to him in a decade. So
in person,
that was your one freebie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've told a lot of people about Todd Coles because a lot of people ask me about dogs, and I've just been like, "Hey, contact Todd Coles."
Yeah. I try to get with him like once a year. It didn't happen last year. We had too much going on, and he has this thing he calls Booster Fest, which like. He gets in this certain location at this time of year, and all the guys with a booster dog pull up. And like over here, like a dude's on a Blackstone, like cooking up some breakfast, and over here, it's a party, And then like
it's kind of like the beargrease classic.
It's kind of like the beargrease classic, yeah. So they're
Only not as good.
Yeah, no.
I mean, different.
They don't have T-shirts yet, and you guys do.
Well,
so,
of course we do.
And hats. Yeah, enter promo code 100 pending, but that's my catchphrase. Yeah, and then they're just going to disperse, and there may be like six, 7 groups of guys hunting together, and then come back and like there's 200 squirrels that they've got to clean.
Wow. Okay, for the non squirrel dog hunter.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's lots of people listening who don't have a frame of reference to put it in.
Sure.
When you're going out squirrel hunting, how many dogs are you normally taking?
1.
Just 1.
That's what I like to do. If us 3 go hunting, and you've got old Spot, and I've got old Brownie. Like, why do we want to take opportunity away from each other? You see what I'm saying? Let's all be together at the tree. Because your dog's going to go over here and tree, and I'm going to be over here and tree. We're not going to see each other all morning.
Right.
So why are we hunting 2 dogs? That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
I want to go to the tree and talk with you guys. Every tree I walk to is like the first one I walked. What's this tree look like? Is there a vine? Is it got a hole in it? Has it got a nest? What's it look like? how many squirrels are in that tree? Because I don't know about here, but when squirrels are running in my country, you might shake the vine and like 4 go, boom, like in one tree.
Right.
Yeah, I want to be there making those memories with you guys. So
Okay.
I hunt one at a time.
Yeah.
Some guys will hunt too, and my friend Travis Tate, when I was younger, he called me a soldier. So a soldier in our lingo is someone that doesn't have a dog and is going to shake vines for Travis so he can shoot it. So you're like a footman, know.
Yeah.
So it depends on how many soldiers you have with you. Like I love to go with one good dog and about 5 guys so we can surround that tree,
Sure.
take turns shooting vines, man, make fun of each other when we miss. I mean, just what a time.
Which inevitably happens if you're shooting a 22,
Man,
Especially,
So
it doesn't matter what I'm
only-
shooting. I just
The only
cannot
flaw with the way that we hunt
Yeah.
in big groups, and
Yeah.
it's like pros and cons. When we squirrel hunt on mules with a big group,
Yeah.
which I think 2 years ago we had 17 mules and
Yes.
Holy
like
smokes.
eight dogs out at the same time.
shoot. Yeah.
For dog work, it's not the best. Like
Sure.
you wouldn't want to bring.
You're not promoting independence at that point.
Yeah, yeah, and it's hard on all the dogs. None of the dogs look as good as they would on their own.
Yeah.
Some of the dogs, it's kind of chaos.
Yeah.
But it's it's worth it for the amount of fun that you have.
Yeah.
And there is enough difference in the dogs that everybody's seeing the difference.
Yeah.
And kind of maybe giving a hard time about this
Yeah.
dog or that dog, or maybe not. Really, when guys aren't making fun of your dog and he's doing bad or good, you know that you're probably getting under their skin some way. So
And
I
that's a thing, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's like a white glove to the face. Like
Yeah.
if you're talking bad about my dog and we're out there together, like, oh, quit, But here's the deal though. I can meet a complete stranger and we go squirrel hunting together and then we're best friends.
Yeah.
100%.
yeah,
Like, you care if I ramble real quick? The
Ramble.
best killing I've ever been on. We are down south. I'm with my friend Travis, Joe Collier. And he's like, hey, I got some boys going to meet us in the slip. We're getting in my boat. Travis always keeps like a 1860 ambush, like a tank. It's a barge. So 6 of us get in this boat and we go to this island. I don't know these guys like from Adam. We killed 42 squirrels in a little under an hour.
Holy
wow.
Best
smokes.
hunting I've ever been on. And it's getting dark. So we get on the boat and we're getting ready like to head back to the slip. And the sky's like orange, pink, red. And ducks are like heading to the roost. And I was like, Trav, kill that motor. And we just sat there and just kind of looked up and like took in the blessings, took in like nature. Like, how lucky are we right now? And every time I see one of those guys, those memories flood back. I've never had a squirrel hunt.
Yeah.
Even if we don't have a great hunt, I've never had one where I don't make memories.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's just kind of I don't do this for the dog work as much as I do the people. Like, I'm in a group text. I'm in like 5 of them actually, but the main one, Justin Hitchens is in Ohio, Lane Park's Tennessee, Scott Casiopo is in Mississippi, and then me and Garrett are in Arkansas. And I talk to those guys daily. And I really care about what's going on in their lives. We keep it up with each other's kids. Like Hitchens is in Oklahoma right now on vacation. Lane's working. We keep up with each other. Nathan Young, and that's the camaraderie is
Yeah.
so huge to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you see that like in your profession. You get to do, man. And I'm clapping for you guys so hard because you guys are doing all these different things, and that comes with meeting people.
Yeah.
So yeah, just fellowship.
Man, that's really cool to hear you say that and to say that so well.
yeah. Thanks.
That's
I wrote that down before I got in here. No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No. It's
squirrel hunting to the actual fundamentals of squirrel hunting and why it's exciting. Like
Yeah.
I spent most of my life being real serious on big game hunting, which is almost entirely solo.
sure.
I mean, truly, like bow hunting whitetails,
Yeah.
most bear hunts, unless you're hunting with dogs, is going to be this like ultra solo hunt.
Yeah.
And I do that almost instinctually. It's like I just have this drive that I just almost can't quit.
Yeah.
When I go squirrel hunting, I feel like I'm actually going to have fun.
Yeah. No, there's no pressure.
And when
here.
I started hunting
Yeah.
with, and I didn't get squirrel dogs until, the squirrel dogs I've got right now are the first ones I had.
Yeah.
It's just I've not been doing this my whole life.
Gotcha.
And when I got those dogs, I was it touched the same places that having a coon dog and what I saw in the bear dog guys, just on a smaller, much easier, more approachable scale.
Yeah.
Like to go bear hunting with hounds, you got to go on an expedition.
Yeah.
Like you got to have a bunch of dogs, you got to have a good place, you got to have a bunch of ground. There's a lot at stake. It's hard, and there's some wonderful things about bear hunting with hounds.
Yeah. Never done it.
Even a coon hunt is, you got to go out at night. It's a little wider scale. You need more land. A squirrel hunt has all the same positives of those things, but you can squirrel hunt on 40 acres.
Mm-hmm. No pressure. Anytime sun's up.
You can go on most public land in the country and not feel a ton of pressure. I mean, there are places where there's squirrel hunt pressure for sure. My point is, it's accessible, and it is. My mind was blown by how fun it is to walk up to a squirrel tree and to see a squirrel timbering out through, and we're shooting them, buddy. We're chasing them and shooting them.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's no you don't have to get new gear every year. You know, I mean,
right.
Wear what you want. Yeah, you've nailed it. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I have a little thing, and I hope it's okay that I say this, but I have a headshot album on my phone. I hunt with the 22 most of the time.
Okay.
So to get up and see a squirrel still, and I've got a good rest, man, I'm like, yes. Gotcha.
Okay, so I take a lot of flack from Steve Ranella for carrying a shotgun. Squirrel hunting with dogs. And hey, I get it.
Yeah, I prefer
get it
one.
100%.
Yeah.
How often would you say that the squirrels that your dogs are treeing are setting still where you can shoot them with 22?
So we're in the South. It could be mid-December and the leaves aren't fully off yet. So I mean, and here's a whole new thing. Guys are using thermals now. I don't have
squirrels.
one. I don't have one. Yeah, they're using thermal binoculars to find squirrels. I'll have one someday. But where I'm at, the trees are super tall, man. So I'm not going to walk in there alone and see that squirrel. I've got to move him if I want to kill him, or if I want to show him to a judge in a comp hunt.
You might be treed on a 3-foot diameter at the base. 120-foot tall oak.
Yeah, and 20 foot over there, there's another one, and then another one. So those branches I've got to move him. So shotguns for sure. In that type deal, they're not going to set still very long where I'm at. The only time a squirrel's going to set still where I'm at is in the spring, and it's a young dumb squirrel. You see what I'm saying? They just kind of lock up. They don't know to.
But so you're carrying a 22 though?
I carry a 22 because I know myself, and if I'm alone, squirrel hunting alone's tough. I don't care where you are, what kind of timber you're in. If I'm alone, I'm going to walk up there and just be like, bam, 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 with my shotgun to try to move him. Yeah, I'm just wasting loads trying to scatter that dude.
Yeah.
And that gets expensive because I love to pull the trigger. Yeah, bad. And I'm the worst shot you'll ever meet. But and here's another thing: if I find that squirrel with my 22, he's dead. If he's sitting still, he's dead. And he's gonna fall straight down, and that helps keep my dog tight. I don't want them timbering and going with them. Yeah. So it's kind of what do you want to do? Yeah. But no, if us three go hunting, you guys come on and us three, I'm carrying a shotgun. If we're killing, I'm carrying a shotgun.
Okay.
There are a lot of times.
Are you shooting the 12 gauge, 20 gauge,
12 gauge? No, 12 gauge with high brass 6s or 5s. And have you guys heard of Rob Roberts? He's there out of Batesville. He built me a choke tube. Nice. Yeah, I shoot a Benelli Super 90, and that's what's worked for me because that stuff is so tall. But yeah, and another thing is a lot of times when I'm raising a dog, I mean, a young dog needs squirrels for sure. You got to give them a few. But when I get them to a certain point, I may not even carry one. Matter of fact, most of the time I don't. And if I've hunted Monday, I've hunted Tuesday, I've hunted Wednesday, Thursday I've got ball practice, so I don't go. Friday, I want to reward that dog, so I'm going to take my 22. I might only kill one or two. If you look at my Instagram or you look at any of my posts, a lot of times you'll see my dog and me and 2 or 3 squirrels. That is sufficient. Okay. I don't want to clean over that.
Yeah, maybe they treat a bunch more, but you didn't shoot them.
Yeah.
I got you.
That is sufficient to me.
You don't have to kill them all.
But now if y'all are like Tyler, I'm coming over. Let's go. Let's get it. I'm gonna have 3 boxes of Rio Blues in my back and maybe some in my front pocket and look like Scarface out there. I'm bringing the shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry I keep getting on rants.
No. The other kinds of dogs. We've only talked about Feist.
That was an hour ago when we started that.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Mountain curs.
Mountain curs.
Mountain curs. That's what I'm doing right now. They are a little bit bigger than a Feist, 30 to 45-ish pounds. Now, mountain curs, if you have an original mountain cur bred dog with papers, it has been bred to another cur. It is not outside. So they are doing the same thing that the Feist, some of the Feist guys are doing, but with curs.
Right.
Just a little bit taller dog.
Yeah.
A little bit
and it's
more.
And that dog is almost always going to look about the same. It's going to be a brindle dog.
There are some Kimmer mountain curs that are yellow, and there's some. Like, here's the deal, dude. All mountain curs have some hound in them. It's just what it is. Somebody slipped some in there. It happened. So there might be some black. There might be some white patches of white socks, but brindle's pretty much the deal.
They bobbing most of their tails.
Yeah.
Mountain curs.
Very few mountain curs are born natural bobbed.
Right.
Lots of Feist are, because we've been line breeding this trait for so long.
They're just losing their tail.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But culturally, you're cutting the tail of a mountain Feist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever have any long tail mountain Feists?
I have not seen a long-tail mountain Feist.
It just doesn't happen.
I've not. Yeah, I'm sure it does. I've not seen it. I've seen some long-tailed treeing curs that have a lot of hound or bird dog in them that are white. A white tail is okay with me on a heavy hound bred dog. A mountain cur, I do not want to tell.
Isn't it funny, the tail thing? Because if you gave me the best coon dog in the country and it had a bobtail, I would be like, I'm out.
No, that dog's supposed to have a tail. Yeah.
Yeah, if a coon dog's supposed to have a tail. Like, I wouldn't even get excited about walking to the tree.
No.
I mean, I'd just be like, it's a bobtail dog. I mean, yeah, sure, we
Yeah.
got a coon. But with a squirrel dog, I can't imagine my Feist with a long tail.
No.
Like, I want to see that tail doing like this.
Yeah, that little nub.
That little nub,
nub.
just
Yeah.
going back and forth.
I
like
don't want a brindle dog to have a tail. It's just not for me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Any
yeah.
brindle dog.
Any brindle, including the big ones with long ears.
Oh,
I've got-
including a hound?
I don't want a plot hound with a tail.
Really?
Oh.
So I'm different there. Just because they're black and brindle.
I see. I see
A
where
Walker
you're...
dog, a black and tan, that's okay. And I guess it's like when you buy a pickup and you decide like what kind of running boards you want, or like do you want to tint windows? It's all it is. It's just like, this is what I want. Like, I don't like jalapenos on my nachos. So you guys might. You know what I mean?
I'm getting a plot this month,
Yeah.
and it will have a long tail.
Okay. Well,
It's not brindle though; it's pretty dark.
Yeah.
It's got brindle in
that's
it
okay.
to be.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's gonna appear almost black.
Yeah.
As Roy Clark said, the correct color for a plot is when you're about 30 feet away, you think it's black.
Right.
When you walk up to it, you realize it's actually got some brindle in it.
I like what that is. I call that a black brindle.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
Yeah.
And I love that color. Yeah.
Okay, so mountain curs. That's what you're hunting.
I'm hunting.
Are you
mountain
hunting
curs right
original
now.
mountain curs, like registered original mountain curs?
I have two right now. Like I said, Up was off of Sassy. She is a Thunder Sport bred mountain cur.
Okay.
So Mr. Alan Franklin in Ohio has been breeding these dogs. So top and bottom, her pedigrees are a lot close to the same. And then I have a dog I called Nova, who could be the most natural I've ever had. Like, that's a big statement from me. Like, maybe. A man in Louisiana called me, Deucey Ducote, and he's like, hey, never met the dude. He's like, hey, I've got a litter. I've got a puppy I want to send you. It's a female. I'm a female guy. You will not see a male at my house. Preference. So I'm like, cool, send it up here. So, like, this pup has trayed 5 squirrels, and it's not been alive 150 days on this earth. Like, just naturally. Like, I took her the other day, and she's just hunting, and nose, like, locked straight up. And her back end, like, sets down like a cutting horse, and she's just like, ow, ow, ow. And I'm like, you don't even know.
Now, I'm doing the math. I can't do it quick enough. 150 days is,
What is that? That's
4 or 5 months?
Yeah.
5 months.
Yeah. That's
Okay. So
that-
she's 5 months old right now.
No, she's not. She's still 4 months old.
4 months
So
old.
maybe my math sucks. Sorry,
120,
sorry, Mom.
120 days.
But it's already treeing a
Treeing.
squirrel.
I'm just like,
straight
wow.
up, like,
And it's innocent. It's pure. It's not been around me long enough for me to put any kind of influence on it. Like, that is what it is.
Yeah.
I've not.
now
I've
it's
taught
an
it to-
original mountain cur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's another thing. It is built. It has the conformation of a male dog. Huge long snout, very wide chest, huge front feet, big hocks. I can see every muscle on her already, and I am very fascinated with her right now. She's the type of pup like, and man, I've just gotten so lucky because I have went through some pups that didn't turn out that I don't talk about, but she's the type of pup that you're like, okay. if I take off the day before Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving, that's 5 days of hunting, but I only have to use 2 days of PTO. Like, I'm getting ready to lose a crop over this pup. like I'm ready. It's fixing to be on and popping. Yeah.
Nova's what you call her.
I named her Nova because my wife wouldn't let me call either of my daughters Nova. Which I thought it was a cool name, Nova. Yeah,
I like it. It's a good kind of like one syllable dog name.
No is what I've been calling her. Like on paper it's Nova, but I'm definitely a one syllable guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Man. Okay.
That's dangerous calling a dog no, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then telling it no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife actually brought that up. So I don't really talk to my dogs out in the woods. Like I don't hoop and holler. I'm not like, hurry up. Like I unsnap it. I want you to go get treed. And then when you get treed, I'm going to put my leash on you at the tree and like pat, good job. And that, like, there's not much conversation there.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to influence that dog at all. If I have to, that way, if it's time for me to influence, it's going to pay attention to me because it's not used to me hooping and hollering. You with me?
Gotcha. You're not going to waste that communication with it on something trivial.
And maybe I think too much, but I had a man tell me, a man named Dean Wright. So I go to the World Hunt in like 2017 or something, and it's my first time. I've never been to a World Hunt. It's in Land Between the Lakes in Kentucky, and I walk in, and this guy's sitting over there by himself, man, and he's got like the greasiest hair and like just like oil stains and holes in his pants. I'm like, who's that? And they're like, man, his name's Dean. He's been in the game for like 40 years. No one likes him. I heard 40 years, so I get up and I walk straight to him. Like, okay, this guy's gonna teach me something. And we get to talking, you know. And about 2 minutes in, I realize he's just the world's giant teddy bear. I mean, he's just the nicest dude ever. Maybe he just comes off as like, anyway. So we get to talking, and he's like, look, I watched one of your videos, and you were kind of like really talking to your dog quite a bit at the tree. He's like, why? I was like, well, I was just excited. He was like, I'm going to tell you something, son. He's like, you yell to a dog and you whisper to a dog, and see which one that dog has to work harder to pay attention to. And I was like, wow. Yeah. So when the time comes that I have to yell at that dog, he's going to listen to me because I've not done it its whole life. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe it isn't. But
there's a correlation in that with training a mule.
Sure.
Like if you want a mule to be soft,
yeah,
and super responsive to you,
yeah.
If the first time you step on it, you start yanking around its head,
yeah,
and spurring it, and like basically in its language yelling at it, you will never give it a chance to be soft. Mm-mm. But the best mule guys are the ones that are given the most nuanced cues, and that animal is just like bouncing. And so when you do have to get loud with it, and not loud verbally, but like in the cues that you're giving it, it's going to come unglued and do what you want it to
do.
Maybe
my body language is a little bigger. My tone of voice is a little larger. But just like that mule, like it's going to pay attention because it's not seen that before.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
you're speaking my language right now.
And then it moves and responds off very gentle cues.
Yeah.
As opposed to an amateur riding, which I have been in the squirrel dog world and the mule world.
Yeah.
You know, yelling at your dog or you know.
I've seen some guys just absolutely hooping and hollering at their dog, and the dog is just like so guarded, so jaded, you know, just walls built up. And I'm like, I don't know that you're going to fix this issue because that dog isn't paying attention to you. It's just trying to literally survive this scenario. So, I don't know how I'm going to let Tara, but listening to Dean tell me that went like a long way. So when I'm in the woods, like, until I get this dog solid, like we may be high-fiving or something or laughing, the dog's not going to pay attention to me. It never has, because I've been so quiet. Like literally, I have 3 commands that I like: come here, stay treed, and go get treed. That's all I want you to do. And it sounds so simple, but repetition, that I unsnap you, you're treed, you stay there till I pull you off the tree, we're done. Those 3 things, you do that for like 15, 16 months, boom, that's what that dog is.
Wow.
So keeping it all the same is so big. But here's the cool part. Like Bear and Shepherd.
Yep.
So they are like, I was looking at some of your posts, like any father wants their kid to be successful humans. And like those two, like obviously are killing it. Like Bear is out here casually digging bear pits with his own homemade bow. And Shep's one of the better ball players in the state right now, I'm told. So they're similar, but they're probably so different, right? I know my kids are. So every pup I get, I'm like, what are you going to be? Like, how are you going to act? What is your demeanor? And maybe I shouldn't compare children and squirrel dogs, but I do. But I do. Like honestly, like my little boy Rainey needs whooped 4 times a day. Like probably will be in jail by 15.
Now don't say that, Dad. Come on
My
now.
oldest boy Jace, I can get like eye level and like, Jace, I really didn't like the way that went. Here, let's do this, and he'll melt. I mean, that's my daughters are the same way. I mean, they're so different, and I think that's wonderful. Me and my brothers are different.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, God made us all different, and there's these different genes and different ideologies, and what works for you may not work for me, and that just fascinates me. I wish that I would have went and got like a background in genetics in something to understand it more, because things like that really tickle me.
Yeah. Man, I'll
So.
tell you what, dog breeders to me have are like Mendel, the famous geneticist that learned about like this monk in the, I don't know when it was, the 1700s, whenever it was. He like was like breeding flowers and like hand pollinating flowers and getting different crosses, and basically he mapped out this like genetic architecture that people still use today. What I've seen with dog breeders that are like dead serious, like they kind of have a functional knowledge of genetics that is pretty amazing. And in some ways, I don't want to say supernatural, but I guess that's a good word. Like just like instinctual. Like an instinctual, like if you input this into this line, it's going to produce this. It's just pretty fascinating to the guys that are really good. And all those guys too, if they're really being honest, and most of them are pretty humble too. Some of them aren't. But they say, oh man, we produced a lot of error before we got to this. But once we learned this, we kept going. And I mean,
So like you and I are like, I'm sitting here like, I'm so thankful for your 40 years of work here. You know, I'm thankful for what you've done. Now I have something to go off of.
Do you have a desire, as much as you love it and are interested in it, to like have a line of dogs?
I don't. I want to clap for the men who have put in the work, and I want to give them the credit and hope that I can breed that stuff together, which is what they've done, because it's worked. So why do I want to change it? You see what I'm saying? I've made 3 crosses my whole life. I think that's awesome, but I don't want to try to like recreate.
So what's your strength? Is it handling dogs, raising, starting dogs?
Starting dogs is my strength. Yeah.
That's why people would have given you a dog and said, hey, I want you to have this dog.
And I've gotten really lucky and made contact with the right people and got the right line of dogs, and it's just worked out.
Yeah.
I'm 34. I know a man in Oklahoma, Keith Sutmiller. He's 76 and can get through the woods better than you two and me. Like, the dude's a mountain goat. And like, I pray that I'm fit enough and healthy enough and have the time to do this for the next 30, 40 years. I love it that much. But yeah, man, you get the right thing going, and it's just, to me, I mean, there's nothing else important to me right now. Family, obviously, but like, other than that, I'm not wasting my time doing anything else. Like, I could low key be a like closet crappie fisherman. I would love to be, but I don't have time for it.
You got too many dogs to start.
And what you said just a minute ago, I wanted to touch on that, about you got to be brutally honest about what you've got.
Yeah.
That's so true. That's like, I was raised by Greg Asbury is a perfectionist. Happy birthday, Dad. Today's his birthday.
Oh, wow.
He demanded that from his kids, his employees, blah, blah, blah. So honestly, I was about 30 years old till I appreciated that. I didn't like it. And then I was like, so I overanalyze and like nitpick everything in my life. So I had a Jip a couple years ago that was everything I wanted her to be, except she did not have any mouth. As a young dog, she just did not have that mouth. And I have to have it. I cannot hear very well. And I didn't breed her. And sometimes I think I should have. Maybe the right stud could have brought it up. I've got a buddy that's got a dog that's really, really, really quick, but she will not stay on the tree. She's just gonna follow that squirrel, and we're not breeding her. I mean, to the right people,
You
she'd be
really know exactly what you want.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, young dogs are my forte. I don't care about a 5-year-old finished dog. That I don't care.
Yeah.
You guys have done your work. Like LeBron James is, like, what else has he got to prove to me? Like let's go to this next class. Yeah. So yeah, that's me. And I try to raise one or two every year. So
Man, we've moved along. Feist. We don't have to go into as much detail, but I mean, what other breeds? We're still
so
on that one
just
question.
a hound, or like a bird dog hound cross would be the other.
So there's a lot of crossing and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Yeah.
some dog pursuits people get a big kick out of papers. I feel like the squirrel dog world is a little less interested in that.
It is. The company that I like the most, NSD, has a junior futurity program.
NSD stands for
National Sporting Dog. They have DNA parentage in their papers. So that doesn't tell you like how much of what is in your dog. That just proves that my dog is off this dog and this dog. Like that is its parents. So if you pay that up and you get your dog in the junior program, it can hunt in junior hunts till it's 3 years old, meaning only hunt against younger dogs. That is really the biggest thing going right now. But if you like, I could call a guy right now who I got off the phone with yesterday and be like, hey, I've got this dog. This is what she is. This is what you can do with her today. I don't have any papers. He don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. Like most of the time I get puppy papers and I pull up, I pay them up, do the swab the cheek thing, and I put that in my drawer, and then like I get ready to sell it and I'm like, crap, what other than papers? I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to know. It's nice to be able to look back and see what was what,
Yeah.
But no, not a huge deal. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's your passion and knowledge of what you're good at is unique, Tyler.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like I said, I've been watching you guys for a long time, and just the things you guys are pursuing. Like, man, I'm clapping for y'all so hard because you guys are living the life, and obviously very passionate about it. And man, it's great to watch. It's great to watch someone who's good at something exceed in it. Especially for a career. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys do next. But I may be like my wife doesn't call it my addiction; she calls it my affliction.
Affliction.
Yeah, and I'm on the phone all the time with guys, and we're talking about this and that, this dog and that dog, and yeah, it's just what drives me, man. And I love it so much.
You know my buddy Michael Lanier?
Man, I know the name. Sounds really familiar.
I think he told me that he had communicated with you at something. Michael has been I call him my squirrel hunting Jedi master.
Yeah. Sounds like
I wish he could have been here today.
Yeah.
We rode mules yesterday afternoon, but Michael's a great guy.
Yeah.
I just wondered if you knew him. He's from the Batesville area, but
Culinary.
Yeah.
The name sounds so familiar, but it doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I talked to a lot of people through Squirrel Dogs, so
Yeah.
lots of folks. But
Man.
yeah.
Okay, so the World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off is coming up in September here in Arkansas, which we'll probably have Joe Wilson on here pretty soon to talk about that. But me and Brent usually try to get up there. I wish we could have more of a squirrel dog presence there. I mean, it's about cooking squirrels.
Yeah.
That's kind of the main emphasis there. It's a squirrel cooking competition.
Yeah.
We need to get like a, I don't know.
They usually reach out to me for some meat yearly, and last year I gave the year before last year I was able to give them quite a bit. I don't have any frozen this year, but what they're doing is so cool. I've never got to go.
Yeah.
Never got to go.
Yeah.
So are they just like different dishes with squirrels?
Well,
Like,
there's
what goes
40
on?
teams, so there's a cap on the amount of teams, but there's 40 teams, and they come from all over the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like even the world. At times there's been international teams, but basically everybody each team usually has somebody that is like a legit chef.
Yeah.
And they'll just try to come up with the wildest plate combinations possible for squirrel. So it's not like squirrel and dumplings.
Right.
It's like I couldn't even pronounce probably.
Did you get to do any sampling or?
Oh yeah. That's part of the event.
Yeah.
Is that the guys starts at like 9:00 and the judging's at like 1:00 or something. and in the afternoon, and even as they're cooking, they're giving away free samples to the public.
Sweet.
It's a pretty unique event. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, they give away stuff until they run out.
Yeah.
So you're walking around, and so they're cooking for the judges. So they're trying to make like 2 plates for the judges, but all the teams are encouraged to just cook a bunch.
Yeah.
And so they
Like,
give their
get
2
your best.
plates,
Yeah.
but then they give away the rest of it.
Yeah.
And it's a whole meal. It's not just like, barbecue squirrel. It's like we're having barbecue squirrel with a side of this. And I mean, it's like a legit
Wow.
cooking competition. Some guys
Wow.
go like super classy and have some kind of like French cuisine you can't pronounce. Other guys, I remember one year there was a team that like mocked a Chick-fil-A meal
With Squirrel.
with squirrel.
Yes.
But it was like, like waffle fries
Yeah.
and homemade Polynesian sauce and
Yeah.
a sandwich that looked just like a Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah.
And, like they tried that was their shtick is that,
Yeah.
it's like squirrel fillet,
Yeah.
So it's pretty fun.
That sounds
It's
awesome.
pretty fun.
I've got like 2 squirrel dishes. I give a lot of mine away. There's a guy that has a food truck in Cave City, barbecue, and I'll call him like, "Hey, on my way, got you 10." And he's like, "Here's a rack of ribs," and we just shake hands. And like, if I don't have time to skin them or don't want to,
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see some of those dishes. That's
Yeah.
obviously like looking at me. I'm a foodie, so I love new dishes with squirrel would be welcome sight.
Yep.
How cool.
Well, is there anything else we were supposed to cover, Josh?
Not today.
Tyler, man, been a pleasure. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of these days we're gonna go squirrel hunting.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys having me on. Had a great time. Yeah, I would love for you guys to come over and hunt in my country and see what it's like in the bottoms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it's. I'm told by guys that know
yeah.
that there's way more squirrels over there. It's just better.
Population is key. Yeah,
It's just better.
It's just the population. Yeah, and it's flat walking, which never hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, man, I could keep talking about squirrel dogs. We'll have to have you back on at some point.
Sure.
But
It was great to meet you guys. Great to come out here.
Thanks
Yeah.
for being here.
See this part of the world.
hey, I was gonna show the world. I wore I meant to say I wore these overalls today in honor of Brent Reeves because he doesn't come to the render anymore. You don't have to film this, Josh, but that's my Brent Reeves edition case knife.
Nice. So he's got his own edition.
He has
of
his
trappers.
own Brent Reeves mini trapper.
Sweet.
And when you have that level of status in rural America, you don't even come to podcasts anymore.
No way. You send somebody. Like when there's a request, you just send your proxy.
Yeah.
And I don't
Go
even know who that
represent
is.
me.
Probably Waylon. He probably
Yeah,
sent
we don't
Waylon
even know
up
who
here.
that is for Brent anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I guess whenever I have a knife that has my name on it, I probably won't even be here.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Somebody
Just have
else
a
will be
cardboard
here.
stand up and we'll pre-record you.
Yeah. So Brent, love the knife, brother.
Yeah.
Truly,
pretty
it's
cool.
cool. I've been carrying this
I know,
every day.
it's great
I'm
knife.
fearful of losing it. I think there's only a couple hundred of them in the world,
There are.
Sweet.
and they may already be sold out. I don't know.
I bet they're all
But-
gone.
Yeah.
Keep the wild places wild because that's where the squirrels live.
Yeah. Yeah. And my catchphrase is 100 pending, meaning we are a treat. Let's go.
100 pin.
100 pending. That's my phrase. Yeah.
I like it. Thanks, Tyler.
Yep. Thank you guys.